Hello! We playing higurashi again today. Yeah! Yeah. Alrighty, it was a fun-filled, crazy day. I'll go ahead and load it up. Oh wow, it's been like 20 days since I last played, huh? It was a fun-filled, crazy day. But as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly.
じゃあね、レナにケイちゃん。また明日ね。
また明日。
ミオ、今日はありがとな。楽しかったぜ。
また明日ね。
Satoko and Nika-chan went home as well. We parted ways with Mion, and it ended with just Nana and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home.
ケイチくんも今日は付き合ってくれてありがとう。
Of course I would go with you, Nana.
楽しかった？
ああ、楽しかった。まだ家に帰るのが惜しいくらいだぜ。
あ、じゃあさ、ちょっとだけ寄り道してもいいかな？
寄り道？遠いのか？
ちょっと歩くけどすぐ済むから。
Since we had been walking around all day, I must have seemed a little tired. Not feeling like teasing Nana, I quietly nodded. Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, what looked like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. A large heap of garbage spread out towards the swamp. Probably illegal dumping. I recalled it being in the newspaper.
今日は久しぶりだから何かあるかな。
久しぶりって、レナのようはあのゴミの山かよ。
ゴミじゃないよ。レナにとっては宝の山だもん。
Nana had already entered that well-known cute mode of hers. So that meant there was something cute here?
わあ、新しい山だ。ワクワク、ワクワク。
Waku waku! She descended the unstable slope with ease. She descended... I'd expect no less from a born and bred country
おい
girl.
待てよ、今行くから。あったたたた。
My city-raised self was completely pitiful.
いいよ、ケイチくんはそこにいて。すぐ済むから。
Nana kindly declined my
転
accompaniment.
ぶなよ。足元に気をつけろよ。
大丈夫だよ、大丈夫。全然平気。
Literally bounding among the heaps of trash, Nana disappeared from sight. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Nana around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the higurashi gently cooled the air. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence. Startled, I turned around. Standing there was a typical-looking photographer. Photographers have a typical look to them? Also, this guy's neck is so thick, oh my god. He spied over at me through his camera. His body was tanned and fit, but something about him seemed unreliable, and he had a bit of an aloof air about him. Well, it didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case.
おっと、びっくりした。
Although startled when I turned around, he overplayed his reaction. That was my line.
驚いたのはこっちですよ。
ごめんごめん。驚かすつもりはなかったんだ。君はひなみ沢の人かい？
I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious gaze, he introduced himself without my prompting.
僕は富武。フリーのカメラマンさ。ひなみ沢にはたまに来るんだ。
Oopsie. I didn't ask who you were.
写真ってのは被写体に断ってから撮るのが礼儀なんじゃないんすかね。
ごめんごめん。メインは野鳥の撮影でね。断った試しがないんだよ。
So what? You're saying I'm the same as the birds? So what?
いやいや、夕闇に黄昏れる少年があまりにも絵になっていたんでね。
Sure.
本人の許可を取らずにファインダーを覗いたことを謝るよ。
Yeah, make sure you get consent first. Adults are pretty slick. All that annoyance I felt for being startled just flew away as he buttered me up. I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me, except it didn't seem like Dena would be back soon. But this older guy, Tomitake-san, he didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself. Wait, I just realized I forgot to do something. Hang on. I forgot to do the thing, like where you set you say exactly what game you're playing. So, let me do that really quickly. Hang on. Let's see, okay, no, that's not the right one. Details? Yes. Okay, show more. And gaming. Okay, yes. Higurashi. And this is Onikakushi hen. Safe. Okay. Nena popped her head out from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hand.
連れがいたのかい？お、彼女はあんなところで何をしているんだい？
That's what I wanted to know.
さあね。昔起こった殺人事件の死体でも探してるんじゃないですか？
Tomitake-san looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh, I responded like I would if I were talking with Dena and the others.
嫌な事件だったね。まだ見つかってないんだろ？
Oh, I got the chills. Still haven't found one of the arms.
馬に蹴られる前に退散するかな。驚かせてすまなかったね、ケイイチ君。
Tomitake-san chortled suggestively, then disappeared into the twilight. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit.
ケイチ君、怒ってる？どうしてだろう？
It wasn't Nena's fault, so I decided to just brush it off for now.
どうだった？掘り出し物は見つかったか？
聞いて。あのね、あったの。ランディ君人形。
Colonel Randy?
ランディ君人形ってあれか？ファーストフードの店の前に必ず置いてあるあの等身大人形。
KFC?
そう、ランディ君。
Randy君。
かわいい。お持ち帰りしたい。
I couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not. But, well, she seems to want
あ
it.
れはゴミだろ。お持ち帰りしたきゃしてもいいんだぜ。
他の山の下敷きになってるの。簡単には掘り出せないし、あそこ明かりがないからすぐ暗くなっちゃうし。
Nena seemed quite down about finding a treasure and not being able to bring it back.
俺も手伝ってやるよ。今日のうまかった弁当の恩返しってことでさ。
ありがとう。
How? Birds heading home to roost proclaimed that nightfall would soon be upon
ケイ
us.
チ君が手伝ってく くれる。ランディ君をお持ち帰りできる。はう。
How? Nana staggered along as if intoxicated in her dreamy state of mind. I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of her cheery
なあ
state.
レナ、あそこで昔なんかあったのか？
ダムの工事をやってたんだってね。詳しく知らないけど。
How?
例えばさ、こう事故とか。
Jiko.
知らない。
Whenever the music stops. I'm just straightforward. Shiranai. And the blush is gone too. Ooh. Her tone was disturbingly frank. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. I must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Nana quickly lightened her expression.
実はね、去年までよそに住んでたの。
Oh.
え、レナも転校生だったのか？俺はてっきり。
だからね、それ以前のことはよく知らないの。ごめんね。
Don't really know. Don't want to talk about it. That was the kind of feeling she gave me. Thinking about it, of course it would be like that. This wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. If it's just like Tomitake-san said, then I had a feeling only the higurashi would know. Bum bum bum. Maebara Manor, Dam Site Murder. Newspaper edition. Okay, let's look at the new tips. The Maebara Manor.
ケイちゃんってさ、すごいお金持ちってわけでもないの？
なんだよ突然。俺がいつ高級車で投稿したよ。
月の小遣いはいくらもらってる
1000円。
$10 for a monthly allowance. Man, I guess they are in the countryside, but oh my goodness.
結構小市民的ですのね。
You don't need to rub it in my face, Satoko.
お弁当のおかずも普通ですよ。お金持ちじゃないです。
What are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get, then get told that's a plebeian amount?
ごめんね、ごめんね。
Then seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling.
ケイちゃんちってさ、すっごく大きいでしょ？だから建築中からひみ沢中で前原屋敷って呼ばれて注目の的だったの。
前原屋敷。前原 Manor?
あんなに大きいお家だからどんなお金持ちなのかなってみんなで噂し合ってたの。
I see. Now I get it. Well, the frame of it is huge. I see how it could cause some misunderstandings.
私の推理ではお家を建てるのにお金をかけすぎて貧乏になってしまったと考えてますだよ。貧乏でかわいそうかわいそうです。
Nika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar.
諸君らの楽しい想像をぶち壊すようで悪いが、うちは金持ちでも貧乏でもないぞ。極めて平均的な普通の家庭だ。
普通。
あれだけ大きな家は普通とは言わないって。しかも玄関は立派で門は大型車も入れるようになってるし、絶対普通じゃないって。
They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big is because Dad's studio is in it too. There are a bunch of different workshops and lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually uses only a third of the house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people in cars could come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is one for the studio and is normally sealed off. The entranceway that the Maebara family actually uses is a very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside.
ぜひ今度ケイちゃんの家を探検してみたいよな。お金持ちじゃないと主張しながらもあの邸宅一体何が隠されているのか。
かいいものが隠されてると
はう
きっと家具を買うお金もなくなって殺風景な部屋がいっぱいなのですわ。
Oh my, Satoko, your imagination never ceases to exist. Never fails. It never ceases to impress me. Ceases to exist.
絨毯のお部屋ならぜひゴロゴロしてみたいですよ。
ゴロゴロ。ゴロゴロゴロゴロと。
レナもゴロゴロしたい。
ゴロゴロ。ゴロゴロゴロ。Seems like their imaginations are just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it wouldn't be too bad to invite them all to my house. Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around his studio. The cry of the higurashi crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. Wow. The damn site. Murder/Dismemberment, newspaper edition. Spooky. From the June XX 1979 edition. The Shishibone City Okonomiya Police Station, June something, late at night. Suspects blank 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 were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, blank, has been added to wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom on the blank at 9 p.m., where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer, blank, as a group, dismembering his body and hiding it. Oh, this is so spooky. Ooh. On the blank at 8 o'clock in the morning. A report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. Blank. When questioned at a police station, the individual confessed to the crime. Since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave, he was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there are multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is still ongoing. Alrighty. Let's get out of the tips. Save and load. Let's save over this one. Yes. Okay. Now let's continue. Actually, wait, hang on. I think I'm gonna get some more water. I'm kind of running a bit low. So, BRB. I have returned! Hang on, let me just... Oh yeah, gotta move some things. Yeah. Okay, get rid of the BRB. And let's continue.
ああ、そりゃレナのツボだわな。
レナがサトコやリカちゃんをお持ち帰りしたくなるのはわかる。だがランディ君人間は理解できないぞ。
ランディ君。
あんなメガネ親父のどこがいいんだ。
そりゃあレナに直接聞けばいいじゃん。どうせだって可愛いんだもんしか言わないからさ。
レナはよくあそこ工事現場のとこへ宝探しに行くのか？
ちょくちょく見に行くって言ってましたです。
しかし年頃の女の子がゴミあさりね。
レナが楽しいならいいんだと思いますです。
So true, Rika. Let her do whatever she wants. Come on.
あそこはなんだ？ダムの工事現場だったのか？
It had been bugging me since yesterday, like an itch I couldn't scratch.
何年か前に中止になっちゃったけどね。
みんなで力を合わせて戦いましたです。
Hearing an ominous word like fought come from Nika-chan's mouth startled me.
そうそう。何しろとんでもない話だったんだよ。ひなみ沢が丸ごとダム湖に沈むことに一方的になってさ。
So, I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded.
ごめんねごめんね。待たせちゃったかな申し訳ありませんわねケイさん。お化粧直しに時間をかけちゃいまして。
さとこ、便所には溜めてから行け。一気に出せて楽で早いぞ。
Gross!
花も入ってるためになんて口の利き方。
Who was she calling a maiden? If Satoko really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued.
さてと、今日は快速に乗っ取り部員の諸君に是非を問いたい。彼前原圭一君を新たな部員として我らの部活動に加えたいのだがいかがだろうか。
レナは意義なーし。金民部長が私の相手を務められるかしら。僕もサトコも賛成しますですよ。
The three that Mion had queried voiced their approval.
全会一致。
まあ
前原圭一君君に栄えある我が部への入部試験を許可する。
順を追って説明しろ。俺はまだ入るとは言ってないぞ。何の部活だ？
我が部はだな。複雑化する社会に対応するため活動ごとに提案されるさまざまな条件か時には順境あるいは逆境からいかにして。
レナは弱いからいじめないでほしいな。仲良くやろうね。レナさんは甘えてますわ。弱いものは食い尽くされるのが世の常なのでございますよ。
Survival of the fittest. This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. So what kind of club was it?
つまりみんなでゲームして遊ぶ部活なのです。
Sure didn't sound like that. Nika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically, this club put Mion's hobby of collecting games to use by playing the various games that Mion had hoarded every day. It seemed that, depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place.
先に断っとくけどままごと遊びみたいなレベルじゃないからね。一生いっぱいに命がかかってるくらい本気でかかった方がいいよ。
楽しくやればいいじゃないか。そう凄むなよ。
快速第一条狙うのは一位のみ。
First rule of our society.
遊びだ
So serious.
は許さない。
許さない。
快速第2条そのためにはあらゆる努力をすることが義務付けられておりますのよ。
The way Satoko said it, it sounded like she was saying, use any means necessary.
もちろん僕も頑張りますです。レナも弱いけどね、精一杯頑張ってるの。
I knew what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody is aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike to play just for fun.
よし、俺も本気でやってやるぜ。
Do your best, Keiichi. With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club.
ケイちゃんに一応忠告ね。レナも結構えげつないからね。
Oh? This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. Mion began fishing around in the student lockers in the back of the room. They have the games here at school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine.
難しいゲームはケイちゃんだけに不利だからね。今日は誰にでもわかるゲームにしよう。スタンダードにトランプのジジ抜きはどう？
Sound effect.
受けてやるぜ。
Let's go!
やっぱり罰ゲームがないと燃えないよね。今回はビリに顔面ラッシュだけ。どう？
優勢じゃないよね。優勢じゃないよね。
Permanent. She wants to draw on our faces with a permanent marker?
上等でございますわ。
Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. If it's going to be like this, then I can't lose either.
じゃあカード切ってみんなに配るね。
Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference. There's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled out at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game.
じゃあ
Sounds fun.
1枚抜くね。
Changed music. Mion took out one card and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently.
ま、終盤になればおのずとわかるし、最初はどうしようもないよな。
But the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to the one face down, all the while gauging each other's reactions. It was as if they could see what the face down card was. No, it couldn't
こ
be.
のトランプ、結構傷物だろ。まさか、みんなにはその傷で、そこに伏せたカードがわかってる？
快速第2条ですわ。ケイチさんも勝つために最善の努力をなさいませ。いくつかのカードは特徴的だから、ケイチ君にもすぐ覚えられるよ。
She said that so matter-of-factly.
ちょっとこの程度でハンデになると思うなよ。
I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious I was at a disadvantage. After all, they'd gone so far as to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, and they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it! I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would soon be crushed.
ケイちゃんの手札を右から言うぜ。3、4、9、ジャック、クイーン。
Took damage.
ちなみに、ジジはダイヤの J なのです。どうカードを入れ替えたって見え見えですわ。上がりですな。
I thought I was prepared, but for it to be this brutal, just overwhelming.
鬼だ。こいつらは鬼だ。レナは鬼じゃないよな。
ごめんね、ケイチ君。こっちがハートの3だよね。あがり。
Not even a hint of mercy. Nana, even Nico-chan. These club activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a deathmatch on a deserted island, these guys would probably take it like fish to water. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates.
ポイントは減点するね。着順がそのままマイナス点。トータルで一番少ない人が優勝。
では圭一はビリなので5です。
There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard.
やっぱりさ、綺麗なトランプでやらないと圭一君に不公平だよ。
It's very true.
いいのいいの。ケイちゃんだって男だし。これくらいの逆境は跳ね返せるよね。
貧民風情は逃げ帰って涙で枕を濡らすのがお似合いでございますことよ。
For a lowly peasant. A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from uncontainable frustration. It was Nika-chan's.
ファイトおーです。
Haito, oh desu. Thanks to Nika-chan's words of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I could muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiichi Maebara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Donna said, several of the cards have their own distinct markings, making them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory.
うわ、うまいよ圭一君。その調子。
I covered the uniquely marked cards with my hands or other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen.
角が割れているのは5だったはずです。上がりましたです。
I couldn't let any of those precious hints slip by me. All information is a weapon. Then it was my turn. Sadako fanned out her cards for
欲
me.
しいのは7なんだが、これかな。
さてどうかしら。
Yeah,
聞いてみないとわかりませんことよ。
there was a bit of dismay in her expression, like she doesn't want it taken. That kind of expression! I won't let that momentary lapse slip by
見え
me.
た。これだ
Got it! 7 of spades! A cheer of all rang out.
なんですって7は一番わかりにくいはずですのに。
It wasn't from memorizing the markings. Those slight changes in their expressions as I was selecting a card were enough.
ほら、ケイちゃん隠さない。この傷が確かダイヤの2だったよね。あれ
She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too.
あ、みーちゃんがカード間違えるなんて珍しいね。
違う。ケイちゃん。あんた、まさか。
They told them apart by different marks. That mark was a nail scratch, so I put a new one on it!
ダイヤの2を偽装したというですの？味なまねをするでございますわ。圭一、一矢報いましたです。
Clap, clap, clap. Pachi, 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 pachi.
やったね、圭一くん。大前線だよ。
Having defeated the Forerunner, Mion, my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion would win and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on
ま
Mion's
あ、
nerves.
ビリは確定だけどさ。最後にミオンから1本取れたから大満足かな。
That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory.
この回、仮にケイちゃんが1着になっても、トータルビリが確定するんだけど。嫌でしょ？
当たり前だ。
一騎打ちしようよ。
A duel?
勝てたらケイちゃん1位で私ビリに大逆
Oh,
転。なんてどう？乗るでしょ？
she fell for it! A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible without goading her into it.
ワンチャンスだとルールを説明しろ。
Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind her back.
右手のカードと左手のカード。 どっちがジョーカーか当てたらケイちゃんの勝ち。
今後ろに回した時ジョーカーを抜いたってことはないだろうな。
ケイちゃんが負けたら
Oh.
反対の手のカードも公開するよ。それなら OK でしょ。
The other three gulped nervously at this unexpected turn of
よ
events.
し乗ってやる。
Mian grasped one card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First, I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right hand had no distinguishing marks. I couldn't tell which one it was.
どっちだろう。ケイチ君、慎重にね。
ああもちろんだぜ。逆転の大チャンスだ。
Dai-chan-suda! Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I hadn't seen before.
あのカードは。
I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark on the left card from the small number that I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko's reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it had already appeared before, it meant that it definitely wasn't the Joker.
ケイちゃんは右のカードを疑ってる。じゃあ右にする？右？
The left card definitely wasn't the Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that the card to the right was the Joker. Even without Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. Wasn't it a bit too rash to decide based solely on Satoko's reaction? More carefully. Ah! I remember now! That mark, the left card. No doubt about it. The Seven of Clubs!
きっとクローバーの7だね。
I won! The card on the left was the Seven of Clubs. So that meant the card on the right was the Joker! And then, just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. Yeah, the laugh is so funny.
さすがミオンだよ。
Sasuga Mion! There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt, right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker.
ケイチさんは何を言ってるのでございましょう。だって左。C です。
Oh.
ケイちゃんはどうして右がジョーカーじゃないって確信できるの？
Mion let loose an unexpected question. Everyone else was baffled.
右のカードが何かは俺にもわからないさ。だが左のカードがクローバーの7だってことだけはわかる。
じゃあ残る右のカードがジョーカーなのじゃありません。必ず左右どっちかがジョーカーという約束でしょ。
ああ、左右のどっちかにジョーカーがあるのは本当だろうな。
ケイチは勘がいいです。リカちゃん、それってどういう？
つまりさ、クローバーの7はさっき俺がサトコのスペードの7と合わせて捨てたカードなんだよ。
Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned from that sloppy
つま
pile.
りミオンは捨て札を1枚拾って左のカードに重ねている。つまり
そうか、わかった。左のカードをクローバーの7に見せかけているんだね。
It was the first time since the start of the match that a shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Oopsie. Okay. Then, with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly.
ジョーカーは左手だ。
Yeah. It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first to speak was Mion.
初代部長として私も様々なプレイングを見てきたけどケイちゃん、あんたはベストオブザベストオブザベスト
Best of the best of the best. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory! Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory.
リカちゃんか？
Lena and Satoko gaped at us, as if they had seen a
なん
ghost.
だよレナ、別に俺はインチキしてないだろ。正々堂々と。
リカは慰めるときにしか頭を撫でませんの。
Huh? What's the meaning of... At that moment, Lena let out a small shriek.
ケイチくん、こんなことって。
ケイちゃんならさ、ここまで読んでくれると思ってたよ。
Everyone froze. No, it was just
賭けだっ
me.
た。ケイちゃんがおてんばさんの早とちりだったなら、負けてたのは私だった。
It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing
ケ
hand.
イちゃんはさ、この負けを誇っていいよ。
She turned it around. That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs. Unbelievable! It was the 2 of diamonds! It was a setup behind the setup! If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it.
部長、園崎美音の座において、前原圭一、あんたの我が部への入部を許可する。
Ah, I can't. As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everybody let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave, despite my defeat.
これにて決着。本日の優勝は私、園崎美音。栄えあるビリは前原圭一。
Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing.
みーちゃんが後ろ手で細工したとき、またやるんだって思ってドキドキしちゃった。ケイチさんが正解に触れる直前で止まったときにはかかったって思いましたわ。見事に引っかかってくれましたです。
Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly?
楽しくなるようにみんなで盛り上げましたですよ。
You.
お前らみんな鬼だ。人手だし。
Yeah.
なんで、ケイちゃんに罰ゲームだね。
罰ゲ
今日は部
ーム。
活の初日だしね。ソフトに行こうかね。いきなり登校拒否になられちゃ困るし。
Yeah. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker. And it's a giant permanent one.
さーて、行くよ。
Yeah. She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized.
いや、やめろ。
Yeah. I let out my death throes. So silly. Bow, 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 bow. As soon as the club activities were finished, Nina flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Randy that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence.
宝の山か。捨ててる連中もまさかレナに感謝されてるとは夢にも思わないだろうね。
Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Oh right, Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened
あそ
there.
こさ、ダムの工事現場、なんかあったんだろ昔。
そりゃあったよ、戦いが。座り込みやったりデモをやったり。
It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same.
自分たちの土地がダム湖に沈むんだもんな。俺だって戦うだろうな。
役人どもは本当に一方的だった。偉そうで威張ってた。 金で解決できないと悟ると、あらゆる嫌がらせをしてきたんだよ。いやらしい奴らだった。
Mion spoke excitedly, as if the whole thing was happening right in front of
よ
her.
く勝てたな。相手は国だろ。
村長や村の有力者たちがね、方々に陳情した。東京にも行ったし、いろんな政治家に根回しもした。そうしてるうちに計画は撤回されたんだよ。私たちの完全勝利だった。
暴力沙汰とかにはならなかったのか？傷害事件とか殺人。
なかった。
She promptly cut me off, same as Nana had. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitake-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that a murder by a dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside.
じゃあね。また明日ね。ケイちゃんそれ、うちに帰るまで消しちゃダメだからね。
わかってるよ。消さねえよ。
Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Damn you, Mion! You shall rue this day! If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to go all out. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear.
おかえりケイチ。お父さん大変そうだからそっとしてあげてね。
またアイデアに詰まったわけ？
今回は締め切りが重なったからね。お父さん充電期間がないと大変だから。
Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he ever runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Maebaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter?
家の中をうろうろしないで、表に散歩でも行った方がアイデアが出るんじゃねえの？
今回は生活空間がテーマだから、お父さんこの家をモチーフにしたいみたい。
That's quite a bothersome motif.
エイジ、部屋の中を少しは片付けなさい。みっともないぞ。
ごめん。後で片付けるよ。
Ah, come on. Please don't use my room as the
ケイ
motif.
チ、お夕飯までまだ時間があるから、表でも散歩してらっしゃい。
Dad's moods are only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further.
じゃあそうするかな。
I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads here in Hinamizawa creep me out. The roads at night here. If Mion or Satoko ever found out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah. Then I was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Randit was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me
次
one.
の部活の時に恩返ししてもらえるかもしれないしな。
With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitake-san might be there as well. The only person with information on the incident that both Una and Mion denied knowing about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. We going around? spotted Dena struggling up the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Randy was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Dena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake-san wasn't around, I began climbing down the slope unsteadily.
ようレナ、精が出ますな。
ケイチくん。どうした
Dena!
ところへ。
A place like this, huh? I see. She was aware of it,
事
at
故発
least.
生の緊急通報を受け参上しました。負傷者はどこでありますか？
事故って、
ランディ君人形がゴミ山に生き埋めになっているとの通報でしたが。
なんだ、びっくりした。ケイチくん脅かさないでよ。
冗談だよ。レナが一人で困ってるだろうなって思ってさ、手伝いに来てやったんだよ。
レナのために。
How? Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Dena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake.
冗談だよ。こっちまで恥ずかしくなるだろ
冗談ってどこからだろう。どこからだろう。
I just ignored her
う。
bewilderment.
俺どいたどいた。で、どこだよ、ランディ君は。
ごめん。ほら、この隙間から見える？
Where?
こりゃ本当に生き埋めだな。
The Colonel Randy was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him inside. According to Dena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this.
この山を一人でどけるつもりだったのか？その細い腕で。
There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms.
でも、ランディ君
いえ
かわいいんだもん。
かわいい。
お店のランディ君には鎖がついてるけど、これならお持ち帰りできる。はう
How? If Dena gave up on this Colonel Randy, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Dena's guardian, I won't allow her to soil her hands with
置
crime.
いてろよ。俺がやる。
Nena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing left that could be done.
ケイチ君、レナも手伝えるよ。手伝わせて。
帰って邪魔になるから下がってろって。よいしょー。
Aisho! Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside, I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there's still more! Even though I could see Colonel Randy right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Dena, I felt frantic because of how little I had
本気
progressed.
でやるなら、斧とかノコギリとかがいるかもしれねえな。
もういいよ、ケイチ君。すごい汗だよ。そんな、無理しなくても。
レナのためにやってるだけだ。気にするな。
Nana began sputtering and turned beet red. Ah, whoops. I just meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well.
さすがに休憩。こいつは手強いぜ。
I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope.
ごめんね。ごめんね。すごい汗だく。
Nana patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice.
あのさ、ちょっとここで休んでてね。私、家近いから。麦茶とか持ってきてあげるね。
Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Nana took off running. The cries of the higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Dana was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I'd discovered earlier. Oh? There was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. If it was just as Tomitake-san said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well, so it had to be recorded somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Dana had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Water. Both Dana and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened, without a doubt. As long as Tomitake-san wasn't lying. Then, if both Dana and Mion... Ah, yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Dana nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they already tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Oh, whenever it turns negative, oh, it's so scary. The music too. Hinamizawa Dam worker lynching, murder by dismemberment. Oh, I did not like that. Yeah. Here it is. The featured article is in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Then I could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as. It happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was... I had a feeling. Oh. Then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces. The head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder, done by a group of people, with hatchets, with pickaxes, with a hatchet.
驚いたかな。
Nana dropped the hatchet she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice.
ケイイチくんね、さっきほら斧とかがあると便利だって言ったじゃない。それでね、レナ物置からちゃんとナタ持ってきたんだよ。
My heart is going so fast. Nana fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely.
ごめん。ちょっとオーバーに驚きす
Oh
ぎた。
yeah.
こっちこそごめんね。ごめんね。
Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest
最後の
tomorrow.
針はそのナタじゃないと壊せそうにない。せっかく持ってきてくれたんだし、明日借りるよ。な。何しょんぼりしてるんだよ。明日にはランディ君が掘り出せるんだぜ。
そうだよね。早くランディ君をお持ち帰りしたい。
We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Nana brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Ooh, we took it home. I got scared for a moment. She was gonna, like, she knew, you know? Yeah. Alrighty. The Hinamizawa Dam Project and Special Tabloid Report. Well, let's see. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin Number blank, Hinamizawa's Electrical Development Master Plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam was to have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The area to be flooded by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa: Takatsuro, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. The submerged area would include 291 houses, population 1,251, 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship were to be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land was just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onigafuchi Guardians. The dam project was halted, and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company Blink openly refused. Performing unspeakable, heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. The villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by the sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onigafuchi Guardians had been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onigafuchi Guardians Committee Chairman, Kiichiro Kimiyoshi. Wait, let me get some more water. Special tabloid report. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. On blank day of blank month in blank prefecture, at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder/dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam? They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. So said the aforementioned Investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody could have mistaken as alive. Blink's son had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself in to the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, Blink, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think that they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method, of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. Blink had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. What does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. Ugh, that noise. Blink had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound, was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed their gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but Blink threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. But Blink's plan collapsed in the span of one night. Blink, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at a hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle, and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader, Blink's whereabouts, are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by Blink has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that Blink said he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the swamp. Blink's car was discovered abandoned near the swamp, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. Blink didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and used his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to. Within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the swamp when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, that swamp is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onigafuchi, the demon's abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the swamp is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell, that was Blink. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the swamp? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, just a complete change in mood. Oh, this is so spooky. The Zijin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune. Prosperous future. Ladies leaping into your arms. Business success. Promotions. Ambition. Protection from harm. Not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Zijin Dragon Bracelet DX. One piece. 27,800 yen. That's like, oh my goodness. It's like $250. I'm glad they ended it on a lighthearted note. Okay, save and load. This was chapter 3, right? Yeah. Also, I can probably just delete these ones so I don't get confused again. Okay. Alright, hang on, I gotta get some more water. So I will leave it on this cheerful music and go. BRB. Yeah. Hello, I am back. Let me get rid of the BRB. Oh yeah. Hang on. What did I... yeah. I'm wondering how far should I go today in the story. I want to go a decent amount, but I'm also kind of scared. Like, I don't want to go through this all alone, you know? Let me check. What did I make my schedule? I know I'm playing higurashi again this week. So... oh yeah, I'm playing it. I really wanted to play it. That's right. So I'm playing it on Thursday and on Saturday as well. Oh yeah, also I got some Pocky back with me so I can eat as a little snack. But I'm scared though. I guess maybe I'll try to go until like at least 8:30 or maybe 9 today. I guess we'll see where's like a good stopping point, and maybe if I get too scared. But we shall see. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue on then. The function of this school as an educational facility is very questionable. Actually, wait, let me put on a jacket too. Oh yeah. Getting a little chilly. Maybe it's just because I'm scared too. But yeah. Alright, jacket is on. Yeah. Our PE class is exceptionally disorganized. Only things we do together are the warm-ups at the start. The teacher isn't even there after that. All we do is play together. Oh, that sounds nice. They have the bloomers gym shorts.
一応ね、体育の時間は校庭で体を動かすのだけが決まりなの。
This Pocky container bag pouch is not opening. Come on. Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. Alrighty. All the little kids were gallivanting about. Well, they certainly are being active. They might not be getting plenty of exercise, but...
教育委員会はこの学校を見落としてるんだろうな。
お待たせしましたです。さてご一同様、今日の体育は何をいたしましょう。
おっしゃ、これでいつものメンバー全員集合だな。
さて委員長、今日は一体どんな体育をやるのかな？やるのかな？
Actually, wait, hang on. I want to look something up. I'm just curious, but like, do you think for Pocky, like, you know, the ones with like English words and stuff, I wonder if they're any different from like the ones that are just imported from Japan. Like, are they sweeter? Maybe. I kind of want to look it up now. Hang on. Hmm. Hmm. Doesn't seem like anything is really coming up. Hmm. Yeah, okay, I guess it doesn't seem like there's any difference. I was just curious, but oh well. Mion jumped and crossed her arms haughtily, surveying the area.
瞬発力と持久力。スポーツの世界においては仲間などいない。すべてがライバル。信じられるのは己の肉体のみ。
なんだそりゃ。漫画の読みすぎだろ。
I quipped without missing a beat.
ってわけで、温故知新。古いながらもすべての要素を詰め込んだ屋外乱戦の王様。鬼ごっこで行こう。
It was quite the adorable choice to make after playing it up so much.
望むところですわ。のろまな圭一さんは家の一番に鬼ですの。僕だって負けませんです。レナも頑張るもの。今日は負けないぞ。
なんでお前らそんなにやる気満々なんだよ。
快速第3条。ゲームは絶対に楽しく参加しなければならない。
So true.
じゃあこれ部活だ。
Everyone smirked at each other. They all seemed pretty confident. I'm a man. Physically, I should be able to keep up with any girls my own age. Regardless, Mion and Satoko looked like they were aiming for victory, and Nena was looking at me as if pitying my disadvantage.
上等だぜ。鬼ごっこ。乗ってやらー。
My yell echoed across the school grounds. These were the rules. Anyone who was able to evade being tagged before the bell was a winner. But we didn't switch who was it. The ones who were tagged by it also became it. So the number of people who were it could increase exponentially. The endgame would become a hellish siege.
ここいらではこの遊びのことゾンビ鬼って呼んでるけどね。
なるほど。食われたやつがゾンビ化するからな。
なんでそんな怖いこと言うんだろう。
レナを捕まえたら生きたままお腹を食い破ってやるからな。
Oh my.
やだよ圭一くん、そんなのや。
Nika-chan placed her hand on Lena's head as she panicked.
大丈夫です。圭一に食われる前に僕が優しく食べてあげますです。リカ、それは全然慰めになってませんわ。
Both Mion and I nodded deeply.
最初の鬼ゾンビはどうやって決める？じゃんけんか？
一応授業時間だからね。問題で決めよう。問題を出すから答えられなかったやつがゾンビ。
I have no idea which grade level they're coming from.
6は英語で。
6? Huh? I was bewildered by the sudden question. Mion repeated it.
だから答えるの。6は英語で。
6だ。
Oh, the number.
なら靴下は。
靴下 Socks?
ソックスだね。
アルファベットの後ろから3つ目。
X.
X ですよ。
では性別は英語で。
性別
もちろんわかりますわ。
Really?
それは
Sadako cut herself off before finishing the answer. I see. It's quite a lewd question.
さとこは大人だもんね。
性別
知らないわけはないよね。
知ってますもの。
Oh, Mion.
知ってるもん。
じゃあ言ってごらんよ。あれだよ。あれは英語で。
さとこちゃん困ってる。
さすがだな。
持ち帰るなよ。犯罪だからな。
I didn't nip it in the bud. She really might have tried to take her home. Mion's pursuit was relentless, making Satoko stammer.
さあ言ってごらんよ、大声で。あれは英語でなんという。
知ってるもん。
Poor Satoko.
知ってるもん。知ってるもん。だからザットですよ。ザット。
All of us were a bit surprised by Rika-chan's unexpected answer. I see. Well, it certainly is what that means. Ah, I see. That. What is that? That could have been awkward. I wonder what I would have done in Satoko's position. I'd probably just get ticked off and blurt out you know what at the top of my lungs. I wouldn't want you as an enemy, Mion Sonozaki. Thank goodness you were born a girl. If you were a boy, you'd probably be a perverted asshole.
仕方ありませんわね。不詳、この北条さと子がゾンビ役を務めさせてもらいますわ。
What is it, though? Google is telling me some results may be explicit. Oh my. What does mean? Wait, did I type it wrong? I think I did. Oh, okay. Just a 6, I guess, huh? Okay, back to the game.
みんな食い殺してやりますですな。
Seems like she's raring to go.
100数えればいいんですの？
100数えるのはズルするやつがいるからな。俺の問題が解けたら追ってよし。
圭一くん、簡単なのにしてあげてね。
5分の1のケーキと6分の1のケーキと7分の1のケーキを一皿に乗せました。
Okay, Chi.
ござい
Fractions.
ますですの。
Satoko grabbed a stick in panic and began drawing a cake in fractions on the ground.
ケーキ1個を60秒で食べられるサトコがそれを全部食べるとお皿にはケーキがいくつ残っているでしょう。
Just as I finished giving the word problem, Mion shouted.
よーいドン。
On Mion's signal, everyone but Satoko scattered.
圭一くん、それ問題じゃないよね。
Satoko had already lost the moment she started working it out. She's eating it all, so of course there's nothing left on the plate. Everyone dashed off in a direction they thought was best. Knowing the lay of the land, they probably headed right to the best spots. It was obvious I was at a disadvantage. At a time like this, it would have been more effective to go along with those trained in survival skills. Like Mion, for example. The fact that I didn't realize it at the start of the game probably hurt my chances. Glancing back over at the school grounds, I saw Satoko just rising up to start. She was really, really mad. Wahaha! She got tripped up on such a dumb question. Okay, Ichi. I stood at one of the corners of the school. I had clear sight lines in 2 directions and would probably have a good response time if any zombies started closing in. For the time being, I caught my breath and focused on what I was trained to think during club activities yesterday. Now think calmly, Keiichi Maebara. If I was it, what would I do? Increasing my numbers would be the shortcut to victory. Then going after the weakest player first is the obvious plan of attack. Meaning, me!
さて、圭一さんはどこでございましょう。逃がしませんことよ。
But of course, what would be the best method to track me down? Footprints or smell, or maybe some type of trail. If I could craftily hide my tracks, then there would be no trail for Satoko to follow. But I was no detective. Would I even be able to do that kind of thing in an amateur game like this?
岡村、圭一さんを見かけなかったでございませんこと。
What the heck? Do zombies hunt their prey by asking nicely where they went? Tomida-kun and Okamura-kun pointed to the location where I was hiding. After confirming she was headed in this direction, I abandoned my position. It wasn't easy to hide myself with all those little kids running around as they pleased. It was becoming even more obvious that I was at a disadvantage from not being familiar with these surroundings. If that's how it was going to be, then to confront this intelligence-gathering zombie, I just counter it in a similar vein. I approached some girls playing with a
す
ball.
まんが伝言を頼まれてくれ。北条聡子にご両親が公園に来てるぞってな。
伝言いいよいいよ。
I stopped the girls as they turned to run
ま
off.
だ行くな。あと園崎ミオンにもだ。先生が校門のところで呼んでるぞって伝えてくれ。
I am quite the schemer, if I do say so myself. If things went well, then Satoko and Mion would run into each other at the gate. It would put me at a disadvantage if more people were it. But this is Mion we were talking about. She'd figure out a way to escape. But that was just fine. As long as it bought me more time. Wahaha! Dance for me, Mion and Satoko. In the palm of my hand! Having my fill of playing the con man, I looked for a place to hide. If you think about it logically, I'd only bought myself a scant amount of time, and it might even come back to bite me. Once I became a parent, I'd started spreading false information through messengers. I could end up being the recipient of one of those messages. Sadako would probably ask the messengers to help her look for me. That would mean there'd be more zombies than participants in the game. The virus that was brought about by our mischief could cause an epidemic. All my classmates would transform into zombies and would only be searching for me. This tactic might backfire horribly. While trembling at the thought of the impending dawn of the dead, I began searching for a safe house. I found a shed. Yeah, hang on a second. Don't talk when you're eating, guys. Something disastrous might happen. Anyways, I found a shed by the incinerator behind the school. After climbing up to the roof, I held my breath. It wasn't a bad place to hold out. Not only did I have a good line of sight, but if necessary, I could jump off in 3 different directions to escape. It was getting rowdy down there. The lower grades are running around below the shed.
いないね、前原さん。そっちいた？
いない。圭一さんどこだろう。お父さんが拷問に来てるのにね。
That was definitely a lie. The word gate, the same one I'd used, gave a hint of revenge. So Mion was behind this. I was still keeping 1 step ahead of the game. I felt bad for my underclassmen, but they'd have to search until the school bell.
ねえ、圭一さん知らない？お母さんが急病で大変なんだって。前原さんに伝言だよ。家が火事だから急いで拷問に来いって。
There's so many.
前原さん家にジャンボ機が墜落したらしいよ。警察が事情聴取に来てるって言ってた。
Anything goes now.
趣味は抱き枕のコレクションなんだって。
No!
夜な夜なベッドで抱きながら寝てるって本当なの？
Who were they talking about?
ふにふにの
Oh,
や
yeah.
ばい感触がたまんないって。
No way I would do
ちゃ
that!
んの写真貼り付けたのもあるらしいよ。
God! This was your doing! Mion! Okay, calm down, Keiichi Maebara. This is Mion's battle tactic to flush me out. Just hold on. If my underclassmen thought about it logically, they would know it's all nonsense. But small kids don't think about things logically. To them, all of those things were true, so they all chuckled together while looking for me. Wahahaha! I win, Mion. It's my victory. Wahahaha! Wiping unrelenting tears away, I felt intoxicated by my own victory.
転校生の前原さんって二次元萌えの人なんだって。
The cost of beating Mion had too high a price. Ah! Oh, someone passed below. That's Nena Nika-chan.
リカちゃんはまだ無事かな。なんとか頑張ってますです。
Are they zombies? Or are they still human?
みーちゃんも鬼になっちゃったみたいなの。
Mion? It couldn't be. She'd become it because of my little strategy? This confirmed that Mion was behind this relentless message war. Then, this wasn't good.
みーちゃんはなんとか巻いたけど、さとこちゃんは。さとこは土管のところを探してますから、ここはしばらくは安全ですよ。
Upon hearing that, I breathed a sigh of relief. While Nena was slumped on the ground breathing heavily, Ika-chan had started creeping up to her. Whoa. Ika-chan doesn't normally make noise when she walks, but it's strange. It couldn't be. Oh.
何かな何かな大丈夫ですよ。
I'd never seen Nika-chan smile so creepily before.
なんで近寄ってくるのかな。来るのか。リカちゃんはゾンビじゃないもんね。怖くないです。僕が優しく食べてあげますです。そうだよね。リカちゃんがそんな。
Then it was pressed against the wall, and Nika-chan lurched forward with both arms out, just like a zombie. Nana quaked with her back pushed up against the wall. It was quite a surreal scene of horror, like one of those zombie breakout videos you'd see. At that moment, Nana's eyes met mine. Zombie Nika-chan turned 180 degrees, exorcist style, and glared back at me.
いたーちゃんみっけ
Neon popped out from behind the cinder block wall around the garbage dump, also seeing where I was. My position was only advantageous when there was one zombie. Being surrounded was not as good.
ケイチさんを見つけたですって。
I could tell that Satoko was rushing my way. It seemed that Nika-chan had let Donna escape, and now she was baring her fangs in my direction.
降りてこーいケイちゃん
Three zombies circled the shed, moaning curses.
お前怖すぎる。
ケイチさんの腹渡はどんな味がするのかしら。ケイチさん。ケイチも僕たちの仲間になってほしいです。
誰か助けてくれ
I saw Dana apologizing to me from across the schoolyard. An apology. Sorry, leaving me for dead. Dana! I leapt off the roof out of fear, slipping as I landed. Satoko and Nika jumped on top of me, and after straddling me, they tickled me all over my body.
やべやべ
Yeah!
ってことはあとはレナかチャイムまであと何分もないね
のれレナよくも俺を見殺しに
The feelings of a zombie. I understood how vengeful ghosts with lingering regrets felt.
かわいそうかわいそうです。でもこれでケイチも仲間ですよ。
I felt like I'd been bitten by a vampire and was now one of their thralls. It was a strange feeling being welcomed over to the side that had pursued me.
ゾンビ鬼なかなか奥深し
気取ってる場合じゃありませんわ。レナを捕まえるのですの。
校長が廊下を歩いてるもうすぐチャイムが鳴るよ
To devour Dena. I, who had been turned into a demon of vengeance, needed to use any means necessary. Except, I wasn't just a zombie. I was the master of the night. A vampire! Using the same trick that had tightened the noose around my own neck, I used my classmates to further my evil designs. I gathered up the lower grades from around the school
みんな
grounds.
聞いてくれレナが大変なんだ今すぐレナを探し出してくれ
前原さん家にジャンボ機が落っこちたことより大変なの
Oh yeah, it had turned into that, hadn't it? Mion whistled nonchalantly, trying to avoid the blame.
ああジャンボ機なんか目じゃないぞレナン地に墜落したのはなんと小惑星だ
小惑星ですって。
ああ宇宙人が作った装置でロシュの限界を解除しまさか俺もそこまでやるとは思わなかったしかも続いて今度は100個も地球軍の完全な誤算だ
Propaganda pality. The lower grades were dumbfounded, their eyes like saucers at the grand turn of events.
地球軍って私たち宇宙人と戦争でもしてるんですか。
この ままでは地球は壊滅だ。しかしレナの放つ音速のマッハレナパンチなら、そう地球軍のトップエース、それが竜宮レナなのだ。
Yeah, yeah. The lower grade students all gulped. It seemed I finally made them fully understand that the fight for Earth was lost without Dina.
さあチレ、お諸君、レナを探し出すのだ。
My comrades in the lower grades let out an enthusiastic cheer and dashed off in various directions around the school grounds. There was still one person who hadn't gone.
たとえレナさんでも月を押し戻すことなんてできるんでしょうか？
心配無用だ。つい先日もレナは地球に激突するはずの水星爆弾を一つ弾き飛ばしている。小惑星の100個や200個くらい。
竜宮さんってすごいんだ。
Satisfied with that, she also rushed off to look for Dina. It does seem like there are some promising up-and-comers amongst the youngsters.
ケイちゃんの才能をおじさんは改めて知ったよ。
I didn't really feel like she was complimenting me, but whatever.
しかしケイイチさんもやるでございますわね。これは頼もしいですわ。
でもこの人数なら勝てる。これだけいれば勝てるよ。
ケイイチはゾンビに立候補した方が良かったと思いましたです。
Nika-chan's words stung a bit, but I let it slide for now. Not even Dina would be able to escape the entire class. As a result of everyone's thorough search, Dina was finally cornered in the back of the sports equipment shed.
怖いよみんな。ケイイチ君まで怖いよ。
It probably was scary being chased around by the entire student body. All the lower grades closed in on Dina, saying she was the only one who could save the world.
みんなが何を言ってるのかわかんないよ。レナはパンチで小惑星なんか破壊できないよ。
レナ
Yeah.
気はよく見捨てたな。覚悟はできてるだろうな。
さっきはごめんねケイイチ君。だって仕方なかったんだもん。おとなしく食い尽くされるでござい。みんなで仲良しですよ。
さあレナ、念仏でも唱えな。
Nana had stumbled onto a mat, trembling, with tears in her eyes. I closed in. Associating the situation with a similar, particularly immoral one, made my pulse quicken just a little bit. Satoko and Nika-chan were both wiggling their fingers. They probably wanted to tickle Dina. Nana, wanting no part of what she knew was about to happen, went stiff with fear.
ケイイチ君はみんなみたいなひどいことしないよね。しないよね。
さあどうかな。
Yeah.
さて覚悟は決まったかな。
This voice makes so much.
いいよ。ケイイチ君なら。
The face she made as she resigned herself to her fate made my heart skip a beat.
ケイイチ君はひどいことしないってレナ信じてるし。
Ah, body won't move. There had to be some sort of anti-zombie mantra. The second my sense of reason chimed in, the beast inside me died instantly. There was the bell. Game over.
やったやった。生き残ったよ。わーいわーい。
Bye bye. Then I pranced around merrily as if a curse had been broken.
あとわずかのところで日光が差し、悪のゾンビ軍団は廃人と帰したか。ヒロインが生き残るのは映画のお約束だもんな。
何を気取ってるのですの？ケイイチさんがもたもたしてるから。お仕置きしますです。
Oshioki. I was subdued by Satoko and Nika-chan, and once again sentenced to death by 100 tickles.
許して
じゃあ生き残ったでしょうは竜宮レナと園崎ミオン。イエーイ。
ミオン？
あれみーちゃんゾンビじゃなかったの？
ふりしてただけ。敵を騙すには味方からって言うじゃん。
うおーミオンてめ
はいはい急いで着替えないとね。次の授業に遅れんなよ。
離せサトコリカちゃん。いや
Absolutely mercilessly tickled to death. Having had my fill of being terrified to my very core by club activities, I solemnly swore I would have Mion crying for mercy next time. Alrighty, I think I'll probably stop streaming here now. Let me save. Yes. Alrighty. Yeah, I feel like this is a good stopping point. I gotta get back on the grind of Project Sekai. Oh yeah! This is fun though. Got to find out about an incident. Dun dun dun. Yeah. Started to get a little spooky. Whenever the colors get inverted, it's so scary. I'm so bad with horror. Even that just like spooks me out already. But yeah, it was fun. I'll end it here. Good night. Bye bye.